This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com. Hey everyone, welcome back to another month of the NIghtwing news. I am Phil. Joining me as always is
Kristen. Hello.
That's right. So today we're going to discuss NIghtwing issue 63. We're going to do a review of Batman Hush. But I think, do you want to do your review first of their statue you got?
The statue? Okay. Yeah. So, first, okay, there. I bought this statue. There, that's the smaller one. It's the part of this. It's part of that Bat family statue. So I feel bad. First off, I should say I feel a little bit bad that they made this only a 5-part statue because it's Batman, Robin, Batgirl, Nightwing, and Red Hood. Someone is missing. And so I'm sorry, Tim fans. He got cut apparently, which is kind of rude. Anyway, okay, I don't know. Here. Look how big the box is. Like, as big as my entire head.
I was going to say, you get to, fit it over your head, it looks like.
Yep. And then here's the statue. Not as big as my head. The statue is like 7 inches. But, I mean, it is cool. I will say that. So I just thought it was funny because when I opened it up, I thought maybe it was going to be one of those, maybe like the molded plastic. Because those tend to be bigger.
Yeah.
But then I opened it up and I was like, oh, this just has a lot of packaging in it. So it's supposed to, it's supposed to fit in like that. But I mostly got it because, let me see if I do this right. Okay. The little gargoyle that he's on, whoops, I'm really bad at this, is an elephant, which is pretty sweet and very cute. And then he's upside down, and he's the only one that's upside down, obviously, to emphasize how acrobatic he is. So, it's pretty cute.
And it looks pretty cool. Remember,
it's good, yeah. And it's actually that resiny stuff or whatever that composites. So, yeah, it's good.
Remember, size doesn't matter.
No, it's true. Size, and obviously all the rest of them must be this same size. So I guess maybe that makes sense that it would be smaller because if you get all 5.
Yeah,
these statues all cost $80, so I was not gonna pay $400 to get all 5 of these statues. You wouldn't want them here's a foot-tall statue, and I have 5 of them. But
that's what I was gonna say. If you get all 5, if they're too big, they're gonna fill up your whole room.
Yeah, but ta-da!
Nice,
it's pretty cute. So they said, which I thought was kind of cool. Also, is they decided to do this statue following the success of the Teen Titans multi-part statue, in which Dick is also a part, but I didn't buy that one.
Oh.
Because, again, it was $80 for a multi-part statue, and that's 7 parts. 7! But that was the statue that's the cover of the very first new Teen Titans. Mm-hmm. So it's the one where you're Dick's running and Starfire is on her flaming hair, and yeah, it has all 7, and it was successful. So the Bat family was 2nd. So Dick's in both of their successful series. So yeah, so it's a good statue. I don't know if I'd say it's worth $80. I think it depends on how much you like Nightwing and how much expendable income you have.
So the Titan one, was that the disco suit, or is that
No, he was Robin in that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
He's Robin in that one. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was part of the other reason I didn't get that one, because I already have a couple statues where he's Robin. But yeah, if they make one that's a new Teen Titans statue where he's Disco Wing, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to get that one.
I was if I would have known that, I would have told you, no, save it, don't unbox it. We'll do an unboxing video, and then just to get the look on your face when you open it, we're like,
okay, next time. Yeah. Say that, right? Yeah, people love unboxing videos on the internet.
Oh yeah. What else? Oh, They didn't reveal the name yet, but I guess they put out like a. Did you see They put out a Young Justice, the promo for a Young Justice cover, and it has Tim's new suit on it.
Oh no, I didn't see that. What's it look like?
It looks brown.
What?
Yeah.
Well, that sounds sad.
I don't know.
I'm gonna Google it real quick on my phone.
Yeah.
So wait, what month is it supposed to come? Oh, so he might be like for realsies getting a new. He might be Nightwinging it.
Yeah, maybe because I think he's supposed to be getting a new name, but they haven't revealed that yet.
Do you think it's coming up in this?
I'm trying to remember what issue they said.
Oh yeah, see, it keeps bringing up mostly the
show.
Yeah. Well,
everyone's typing, people.
Well, I guess we'll just see what happens.
Wait, Young Justice 8, maybe?
Oh, okay.
Because I just saw an article. It says Bendis confirms his identity is pushed back to Young Justice 8, which I don't think is. I forget what issue we're on. I mean, it's not even big. It's like a group shot, and he's like,
"Oh, I do see it now."
The brown.
Oh, wait, no. No, wait, that must not be the right one. He looks like he's still robbing it. Do I have the wrong one?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm looking for a picture of it. I'm not even seeing it yet. Yeah, I'm trying to remember which one it was.
Oh, Young Justice 8. It has been pushed back 5 weeks, though. It now won't be released until September. Oh, yeah. Tim Drake's new identity pushed to Young Justice 8.
Oh, wait. Try Young Justice 10, because that's the cover they showed it from. Because I just found it, because I don't know if you can see it on my phone. Here, look. Can you see my phone?
Oh, yeah. What?
It's like brown. It's like black, brown, and with yellow highlights all over it.
That's horrible.
I know. Oh, I saw
Young Justice 10 cover. Is that what I should be looking at?
Yeah, Young Justice.
Drake's new costume revealed.
Yeah, do you see it?
Yeah.
I saw the funniest Photoshop or whatever on online. Someone put a UPS logo on it.
Yeah. Okay. Lack of a cape. Yeah. I mean, that seems like Nightwing and Red Hood don't have capes, so that makes sense.
I mean, I can see that, but just the color scheme is just.
Yeah. No. I mean, the decreased color tones of brown and gray.
I mean, again, yeah. I mean, anything but brown. It's like if you don't want to do red and green, I get it. You could do blue. You could do black. You could do all black. You could do some kind of gray. Heck,
I don't know. I'm not feeling it.
No.
I'm a bright colors person. I mean, I love the Robin outfit.
It just doesn't scream, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It just looks so
ugly.
Yeah, it just looks so blah.
Ah!
So it's not very stylish.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, I guess it's good for stealth or something, but boring.
Yeah.
Well, what's the name gonna be? I mean, that looks like if it's a birthing, he's like, I'm the sparrow or something.
They haven't.
Hawks are those colors, but hawks are already taken.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like bald eagle. Well, that's not very scary.
Yeah. Yeah, they haven't said yet, so.
Well, I look forward to seeing what will happen, but.
And then Titan season 2 starts in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, you said the 6th, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. 2 weeks.
Yep.
That'll be interesting. I mean, I'm excited. Like, I've made my peace with it that it is not my preferred version because it's too gritty for my adult sensibilities. But I will watch it. But I don't know. I'm a little nervous. I don't know. Nervous. It seems like they're supposed to be adding a lot more characters. And I'm like not sure how I feel about that because I feel like the characters from the first time around didn't get the. Like, I thought they did an okay job with Dick getting the attention he deserved, but like obviously that's what's most important to us. And Raven, but I was left wanting more info about Starfire for sure. And Beast Boy was very much underserved.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, I feel like I know almost nothing about Beast Boy, and I have tons of questions. Like, can he really only turn into a tiger? Because that's weird.
Maybe he has to learn.
Yeah. And I feel like they're just throwing more characters in.
Superboy.
Yeah, that means that it's not going to be as much attention on Beast Boy, and that would be sad.
Yeah, well, I think Dick's getting the Nightwing suit this season, so
Well, that'd be good.
maybe then they'll bring it back in the comic.
Maybe. This is a good segue then into Nightwing 63 before we move on to animated things.
That's right.
One thing actually when we were talking about statues that popped in my head, I was a little sad that when he was talking about how the different Nightwings have their names, Nightwing Blue, I was like, that's not Nightwing Blue. That's Disco Wing.
No.
And I was sad that he wasn't called Disco Wing.
I know, but he didn't have the collar though.
I know. Yeah, that's true. They did cut down on the color. And I mean, I shouldn't really expect that, but it would have been so funny. It would have made me really funny. But yeah.
Oh, look, the brother and sister dress alike. Although you call the brother blue and the sister gold, Nightwing gold.
Well, right, because I think the brother is in the Disco Wing suit, is in the original suit, and the sister is in the second suit, which is the ugliest one.
I don't know. Well, in this, their suits are looking
yeah, they look pretty similar, but I feel like remember when they broke stuff, it was everybody had a different suit. It was one of each. So I think she's supposed to be the.
Oh, and the ex-fireman is in the red suit.
Which, I mean, that kind of makes sense since the fire truck is red.
Yeah.
And then Nightwing Prime, Sap, who starts the whole thing, he gets the best suit. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
That's just weird because, like Dick has a suit now, but he still doesn't want to be Nightwing and everything, but he has a suit.
Yeah, but it's all black. So, I mean, I guess maybe Tim being UPS is, kind of in with their new, more casual aesthetic.
I guess. I mean, like I said, unless they're waiting for when he gets the suit in Titan season 2 or something.
Yeah, I would hope it's not lasting too much longer.
I just wonder.
Yeah,
I just wonder when he gets the suit on the show if they're gonna use that as an excuse. They're gonna bring the suit back then, so that way the suit in the comics can look more similar to the suit on the show. Maybe.
I don't know. I hope not, because one of the things that I always like about the comics and that I think is most appealing, I don't know if most appealing, but that is helpful is in the comics, the suit is always extremely sleek because it's comics, so you don't really have to justify. That was one thing that kind of put me, I mean, I don't do video games anyway, but the Arkham Asylum suit, I got that they were kind of trying to be more real world, but it was very armored. And I mean, that's one of the things is the Robin suit, in all of the movies, it's been very armored. And I realize it kind of has, well, I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be. I mean, you could be like the 1960s Batman and wear magic spandex. But I know it's going to be more armored, and that's going to be fine. That's going to fit with the aesthetic of the show, but I would prefer if it did not become more armored in the comic because I don't.
Because that's that was one of my big problems with the Justice League movie is like it looked like Flash was armored. I was like, yeah, nothing just says super speed, like big bulky armor.
Right, yeah. I'm like, heck, Superman looked kind of armored. It's like, dude, you're bulletproof.
Yeah, exactly.
You're naked out there. Like you don't need anything. I mean, please don't be naked out there, but you could wear your swim trunks, Heroing. That being said, even though this whole amnesia thing, not my favorite, I thought this issue was pretty good.
Yeah, because I mean, Dick's actually getting back out there and stuff.
Yeah, it felt a little. Maybe, I mean, it was good. It felt a little fillery because I thought that, I don't know. I think I was expecting a little bit more. I think I was expecting Talon to already be going at him, but I guess Talon wants to like mess with his head a little bit first or something.
Yeah, they're dragging this out because I just thought that I think the newest solicit was it for October or November. I think Talon's still going to be around. So
Right. Yeah. Well, I think they're drawing it out because there's like this whole year of the villain thing, right? And everybody's supposed to have a villain, and obviously Talon must be the one they're using for in the Nightwing comics. So yeah, he's gonna have to be around a while.
Yeah, I saw an article. I wish I would have remember where it's from, but someone was making the comparison that this Talon William Cobb is like Dick's Joker.
We'll see. Well, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, maybe, but
well, I mean, this one's kind of personal because is this
right? But I mean, in the comics, Joker. I mean, it's only in the movies that they try to have some weird thing where like Joker's the one that killed Bruce Wayne's parents. I mean, it's not like Bruce Wayne's related to Joker.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm just saying they're always trying to find like somebody else's Joker. And this is partially on my head because I decided to splurge and buy the absolute Batman Black Mirror, and it just came the other day. And I remember that they're like, "Oh, is James Gordon Jr. Is he like Joker?" And I mean, I guess you can make a case for that as well.
Did you like Black Mirror?
Oh yeah, I mean, I read it before.
Oh,
but,
okay.
But those are like my dad owns that one, so I thought I try to support with my Amazon monies stuff that Dick is in. Particularly, I thought, I want to buy this one because it's the Batman stuff in particular that gets the most reprints and the most absolute whatevers. But I was like, but Dick is Batman in this one, and so I want to extra support.
Oh, we should review some of that Batman stuff from when he was Batman. Do like an old issue and a new issue. See, this is when it was good back in the day.
Also, I've already been compiling a list of, it was supposed to be 80 issues, but I'm already over 80 issues that we should read next year when he's 80, in addition to the modern stuff. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you soon once I finish, and you can. And my stuff leans pretty heavily on like, his relationships, like Dick and Bruce stuff, the cute things. So you can add in the more like butt kicking stuff. We can each have 80 issues. Can you read that much, Phil?
Yeah.
Can you read 160 issues of Dick Grayson in a year?
I was gonna say I probably read them all, most or if not all of them already anyway. But
well, if you haven't, there are the old ones that I can scan for you because I definitely. With it. Anyway, yes, that's for the future. That's for 2020.
I'm thinking, for 2020, Dick Grayson's 80th anniversary, we might have to do this more than once a month.
Yeah, that's true. We could. Also, just a heads up to anyone who cares, when I was making my Amazon purchases for, I already pre-ordered it for coming out in April of 2020. I assume, obviously, for Dick Robin, 80th, it's coming out with Robin the Bronze Age Omnibus. So it's going to collect all those small stories he had in college and the ones in Batman. So, they just came out with that, with the Batgirl Bronze Age Omnibus, which is very good. I really enjoyed those Batgirl stories. The original version of Barbara Gordon, as like, I'm older, out of college, have a PhD librarian, she really speaks to me. I really feel that. So I particularly like that slightly older version of Barbara. Anyway, so they're doing that, which just means they still need, the only thing they need to finish up with is volume 3 of the Robin Archives. Really need to see the origin of Crazy Quilt. Jeez.
Unless they're waiting for next year or something.
I know, but they haven't put it out yet. I periodically check Amazon, Robin Archives 3, and it's not coming. So they need so at this point, I assume they're not going to do it, and they just need to restart and do Robin Gold Silver Age Omnibus. I think it starts in 49, so it might still be Golden Age. It might be like late Golden Age, early Silver Age. But like, if they do it, I will buy it. Get on it, DC. Take my money. I really need to read. It's like, obviously, they just need one more archive version to come out. It's been 10 years. Come on. I need to see the first appearance of Crazy Quilt. It's driving me crazy.
Crazy. Well,
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there'll be so much good stuff.
so did you see an improvement in this issue over some of the previous ones?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there was at the same time. Well, I shouldn't. Maybe when I said before, it kind of felt like filler. I think that wasn't quite the word I was looking for. I guess I was under the impression that it was gonna like be jump started more, but yeah, it wasn't boring because there were a couple issues where it was kind of felt evident that and it's like none of this stuff do I really blame on the writer because the writers they know how to write. It's just they're trying to get them to drag out this amnesia thing.
Well, I think they probably have a mandate too, but like you can't bring it back before such and such date.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. So they're like having to drag it out. And so but this issue didn't necessarily feel like it was dragged out.
Yeah, no, I mean, this whole amnesia thing's been feeling like every issue's been feeling kind of like filler to me to, lesser and greater degrees each issue. So,
right. Yeah.
I saw somebody else online. Again, I wish I remember who it was so I could give them credit, but like, I like their idea better. Instead of Dick getting shot and getting amnesia, Dick gets shot. He retains his memory, but he has to I don't know, do physical therapy, maybe retrain his body.
Yeah, that would be good. Well, or the original idea was he was supposed to get vertigo, and so that would have kind of been similar with the thing. So I don't know why they decided to go with amnesia in the end.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think I would have liked it if he could have retained his memory.
Yeah, vertigo. Yeah, something that I mean, it's just because amnesia just feels like a cop out. I mean, it's like soap opera or whatever. I mean, it feels kind of overdone.
And it's just like, did they want to separate him from Batman? It's like they could just have an argument. How many arguments have they had over the years?
Yeah, but I mean, that because that was kind of the whole thing with Prodigal was like eventually,
yeah,
he was like, all right, it's time for us to stop arguing. It's like they argue, but they're never really like totally separated. So yeah, I mean, I understood that, but at the same time, it's like when Dick was going through all that shit when he was being, raped and stuff, and with Blockbuster, I mean, his family didn't come to help him out, and they didn't have any sort of justification for it. They were just like, we didn't want them in the comic. That's not how we wrote it.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, you can do that. It's like, why isn't Batman's family helping him out? I don't know. We just don't want them to.
Yeah, no, back in the 80s, I mean, they had him in Titans for most of the time. Every once in a while you might see a Batman appearance, but yeah, it was mostly staying in Titans.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they obviously kind of try for continuity and for it to make sense, but they also just hand-wavy kind of stuff. But whatever. Anyway, it was a pretty good issue. I was kind of nervous that Zach was going to be.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, oh, seriously? So then when it turns out he was just very extremely injured, I was like, well, that's good. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But I'm nervous for B because love interest of superhero men who are not superhero women, and even sometimes if they are superhero women, do not have a good track record in comics. So I am much more nervous for B that she's not going to come out of this William Cobb thing alive.
Yeah, well, especially, I don't know, maybe not now, but eventually, once he gets his full memory back, it's either best case scenario, they're going to break up. Worst case, she's going to get killed.
Yeah.
Because man pain.
Yeah, I know. I'm really afraid that B is going to get fridged.
And then plus, once he gets his full memory and everything back, everyone's going to be like, oh, they're going to want him to reunite with Barbara. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So B, I think, unfortunately, is living on borrowed time. Her best case scenario is whatever happened with Sean. I mean, Sean didn't die, but she just went away.
I think they kind of broke up, but yeah.
Well, they broke up, but then she was like, I think I'm going to be a criminal again or something. I don't know. It
But
wasn't
again,
that long ago, and yet at the same time, it was long enough ago. I can't remember.
but it was like Tim Seeley too, so it's like, yeah, it's always weird too, because it's like, when a different writer comes on, if they're like, oh yeah, I don't know, I didn't like that girlfriend, yeah, they just like disappear.
Right? Yeah, they just get rid of her. Yeah.
Someone might bring her back 10 years later or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So, all right, before we move on, all right, letter grade, what would you give this issue, Nightwing 63?
I don't know. I'm kind of a grade inflator, so B- maybe.
B minus?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like none of these Amnesia titles can have an A. Just no.
Yeah, no. Like I said, even the best ones seem kind of like fillery. So
yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to the animated movie Batman Hush.
Okay, yeah. Do you want to do Hush and then Young Justice, the show, or?
I didn't watch this week's, but besides that, I'm up to date. But
oh, okay. Never mind then. No, this week was pretty good. It was cute.
Okay.
Maybe cute's not the right word. Anyway, you're gonna have to text me when you watch it so I can ask what you think. All right. So yes, Hush. What'd you think?
I liked it for the most part. I liked that we actually did get, I think, more Nightwing than we got in the actual comic book storyline.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. I mean, some of the changes, it really didn't change it that much for me and my, it didn't affect me at all. Like, having Bane instead of Killer Croc. But
yeah, I mean, that seemed kind of minor.
I don't know. Just the end kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Yes. Yeah. So for me, yeah, I do agree. I think because they were streamlining the cast of characters, that we did get more Nightwing than if it had been a straight up adaptation. But of course, one of the things that just can't be as good as I just recently read actually the Hush storyline, the whole thing. But I had read multiple times that issue 615, which is the issue that Nightwing appears in Hush, and I love that issue. It's such a good issue. But part of what I love about that issue is something that can't be translated to the movie, which is Bruce's thoughts. I mean, because so much of Hush is Bruce internal monologuing. So he says absolutely great things about how, like, even though Dick and I have had issues, like he's always been there, like we've always been there for each other, and he was born to be in the center ring, and they have that moment in the cave before they go out, kind of thing. So yeah, I knew it wouldn't. I knew that some of the stuff I liked the most, I was like, that's probably not going to be able to translate to the screen, which is kind of a bummer. I was a little sad that, I mean, they had almost that conversation where he was like, you can tell her kind of thing, but they took out the funny part where he said, but when you tell her, you should shave first. And then at the end, when she's like, you could use a razor. And he's like, Dick was right. I should have shaved. I was like, man, that would have been perfect. That was awesome. That was hilarious. That was sad. The other thing and this is not a specific criticism of the Hush Batman, but for whatever reason, I do not like the voice actor who does Nightwing in these series of movies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just, I can't quite. I'm not sure what it is, but I think partially what it is I think the guy's voice sounds too old, maybe, for Nightwing, because although Lauren Lester is older, he has kind of a young, youthful voice. And I mean, Jesse McCartney, he does an amazing Nightwing voice, and he's like young.
Yeah.
And the guy who does kind of like Robin in Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go, Scott Melville, I mean, that guy's in his 40s, but he has an extremely youthful voice. And in one of the other things, which is so great, I loved when he did the voice in Batman Under the Red Hood. I mean, Dick was voiced by Neil Patrick Harris, which was awesome. And Neil Patrick Harris, yeah, he's older, but he has a very young sounding voice. And maybe it might also be that their voices are a little bit higher pitched, And
Yeah.
this one, it might be that it's too low for me, because I think that's always been one helpful thing, is that like Dick's voice has always been higher than Bruce's voice when you have the voice actors. And I still think maybe it is, but not not as different. I don't know. It just doesn't. I mean, it's fine, but it's like my least favorite voice of all of them, which is why it's kind of a bummer, because the movies have been pretty good. You know, and it's nice that he's got this role in Batman and Sons and this kind of stuff. But yeah.
But yeah, I was afraid like they were going to change too much of it, but I'm glad they kept the Superman stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
He's just telling Alfred, pack the jewelry. I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. One of the things, though, that, and I mean, I guess I can understand, you know, if you're writing for the movie, you want to, you know, have some creative license, the ability to somewhat do your thing, and that kind of thing. But one of the things that made Under the Red Hood so good and made people like it so much was it was an extremely, I mean, I know they made some, there's always got to be some changes, but it was a very faithful adaptation to, and it was a standalone. It was a standalone. I mean, and that seems to be one of the best things. I mean, Batman Mask of the Phantasm is really great, but it's totally standalone. Like it's just its own thing. And so that's been one of the things, because like Teen Titans, the Judas Contract is in this same continuity, and like it was just all right, because the characters were shuffled around, and there was you know, it didn't have those like new heroes coming in. Like there wasn't the debut of Nightwing. I don't think they brought Jericho in. Now I can't remember, but it was different. I felt like that would have been one that would have been a good standalone adaptation. And so Hush, it didn't totally hurt Hush that it was in this continuity, but it could have been.
Yeah, I don't think the continuity hurt it that much. Like I said, it was just the ending. Because, all right, spoilers in 3, 2, 1. I mean, Hush wasn't Tommy Elliott. It was the Riddler. I mean, I know they wanted to surprise people and stuff, but I'm just like, this is the whole point of the storyline, the original storyline.
Right. Well, honestly, that I read an article about it, and because I enjoy spoilers, that did not surprise me as much, because honestly, the Riddler is still kind of the mastermind in Hush, the original. He's just not physically Hush. So that didn't really, I was like, that's not that big of a deal. What I thought was a bigger deal was the very end. 3, 2, 1. That Catwoman kills the Riddler, and Bruce is like not that upset with it. I mean, kinda, but not as upset as he should be. Because that I was prepared for something different to happen, which I was excited for, because it kind of annoyed me. I realized Bruce has issues. We have to get them to break up. I mean, we don't have to, but they just.
I mean, it was more.
No, I'm talking about, so with the in the comic book, I guess they decided we want them to break up. And so I thought it was like, I was very annoyed at Bruce that he like basically broke up with Selina because they were going in for a kiss and she said hush, and he flipped he flipped out and was like, ah! Like it wasn't some like, I was secretly in with Hush. It was like, shut up, because I can't kiss your mouth when you're talking, kind of thing. So I thought that was like, you know, that's just Bruce being like, uber. So I thought it would be, I was excited for there to be a kind of different ending where they were making it sound more like Catwoman was going to be like, you know what, you're not willing to change for me, you're not willing to meet me halfway, this isn't going to work. I was like, yeah, that, like, she should be breaking up with him for that, because he isn't. Like, in almost no versions of Batman is he at all willing to meet her halfway. She's the one that is always having to change. So I was expecting something more like that, and she said that stuff, but her killing the Riddler, I was like, whoa. You cut the line on the Riddler and he died. I was expecting Bruce to pitch a fit and be, you know, we can't be together because you just murdered someone essentially.
Mhm. I mean, I kind of like that better than the comic book ending for them, but I mean, it could always be like the comic books. I mean, even after that storyline, they eventually got back together, which they could. I'm just wondering if they're going to like saving that for like a Batman Catwoman movie, because eventually Tom King's writing like a Batman Catwoman storyline. So I don't know.
Right. I mean, yeah, I wasn't upset that they broke up. Like I said, I was looking forward when I read the spoilers to Catwoman breaking up with him because, like I said, I think she makes an excellent point that you have not, that like that she feels like she's putting more effort into the relationship than he is. And yes, but I was just surprised that they had her kill Riddler. I was surprised they had her kill Riddler. And then I was surprised that Batman was like kind of low key about it. He was just like, I could have saved him, and she was like, instead of him going, like Hulk smash, we don't kill.
I think she was just, her side of it was just, he tried to kill me. He tried to kill Nightwing. He's dangerous, especially after his dip in his Lazarus pit. He knows who you are now,
right?
So she's like, he's a wild dog that needed to be put down. And Bruce is just a hypocrite. Anyone else, he would have tried to lock them up, but it's like she knows all his secrets now. So it's like,
but at the same time, and I mean, I am, maybe remembering a very long, like stuff that was written back in the day when they did those, two world things, and Bruce and Catwoman got together and they had Helena. One of the things that they said multiple times that like the reason Bruce could marry, like in his heart, could marry Selina was because she never killed anyone. Like that was one of the things about Catwoman that made it okay, was she was a reformed thief. Like she never killed anyone. She just stole stuff. Like stealing stuff is not as bad as murdering people. Like it's just true. And so I was kind of like, that to me felt like it closed off any future relationship between them, because Bruce would be like, you killed someone.
But again, remember the world they live in. I mean, we didn't see a body.
Well, right, yeah. Yeah, so he'll probably pop back up, but still.
That's what I'm saying. That
would make it hard. That would make it hard for me if I had Bruce's code and I was like, I could have saved that dude and you just cut my line. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're saving the relationship for later, but yeah, that's Bruce's whole thing. I mean, he's stuck in that moment, that childhood moment. He's still stuck there. I mean, killing is never acceptable for him in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I just was surprised that I was like, her speech fine. I was just surprised they had her kill the Riddler. I mean, if the Riddler had like let go, fine. I just was her being deliberate and like.
Well, that's the big thing I was thinking too. I think she was thinking, because the place is coming down. She's like, Bruce is trying to save him. He's going to die in the attempt to save the Riddler. And she's like, he ain't worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. Which that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much. But
that's how I took it, is like she thought she was saving Bruce because she's like, he's going to die trying to save the Riddler.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is probably true. I think it was, for me, just the very deliberate cutting of the line so that Riddler fell into the flames, that I was like, whoa, that's a difference between, I don't know. It felt different to me, a difference between I'm trying to save you, Bruce, versus like if she had just told him, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was just the differences about between the comic book and the movie, because she wasn't there for the final fight between him and Hush in the comics.
No. And I mean, he just like hung out with the Riddler at the end.
Oh yeah, that's when they, after Hush goes into the river, it's just like, yeah, he goes to see the Riddler, and that's when the Riddler reveals, oh yeah, I was behind the whole thing, and I took a dunk in the Lazarus pit and figured out who you are, Bruce.
Yeah. The other thing that kind of annoyed, that I thought was kind of weird, but maybe it's because of this timeline, is when Catwoman went to the cave and Dick was like, hi, I'm Dick Grayson, and they shook hands and she was like, I'm Selina Kyle. I was like, don't you guys know each other? Like, come on. I mean, and no.
I'm not sure, but
well, I mean, that's like it's obviously a thing. I'm not sure what's up in their time.
Yeah, the movie continuity. Yeah, and I don't know if it was even just a hey, we're meeting for the first time with no masks, you know.
Right, but it's even like Bruce has obviously dated Selena before, and Batman has had a thing with like he knows her already. I mean, it's been obvious in the comics, but yeah, no, that's always kind of the weird thing is I don't know what sort of timeline they're working with here. I mean, it did make sense that they cut the Jason Todd stuff out because there's been no Jason Todd in that continuity with the movies, so that probably would have.
Yeah, if they redo the Red Hood story, they're going to give that its own whole. I mean, he really wasn't in the Hush comic book, but I think they were testing the waters because at one point Hush unmasked and it's Jason Todd, but then they revealed Clay face. So I think they were testing the waters with that to see what the reaction was, and then they're like, no, we can't do it here. You know, we got to give him his own story when he comes back.
Well, right. Well, I mean, and since it turns out it was just fake. Anyway, I was just saying that I understand why they cut that out because there's been no mention of Jason in this continuity.
And plus, for some reason, they only give these movies like 70 or 80 some minutes, and I'm just like,
yeah, but I mean that's pretty typical for an animated movie.
I know, but at least with like Death of Superman, they did the Death and then Reign of the Supermen. I mean, it was like two-part movie.
Mm.
So they could have did that here, but I was watching this and I was thinking, oh well, they did a Death of Superman movie and then a Reign of the Superman. I'm like, are we gonna get like a 2-part Nightfall? I want Nightfall.
Maybe, but it depends because it'd be messed up in this continuity. That's the thing is if they're trying to shoehorn it into whatever sort of continuity they have, it doesn't.
Yeah, it needs to be its own continuity.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work as well.
Yeah, because then it would be like, why isn't Dick taking over?
Right, and I mean, like he would be. That was the other thing that was weird to me was, I mean, I guess just it wasn't clear to me when they're at breakfast and the phone rings and Alfred's like, "Oh, it's Commissioner Gordon," and he gives it to him. Who Commissioner Gordon was calling because it was on a cell phone and Bruce didn't really change his voice, but then he showed up as Batman. So I was like, did he just call Bruce Wayne and you show up as Batman? Because that's a bad move. But then I was like, I assume he must have called Batman, but like,
I think
Batman have a cell phone that only.
I think he just gave him like a burner cell.
Yeah,
or something.
I don't know. That was I was just thinking too much into that, and I was like.
But just like with Batman 66, I'm always like, wait, Commissioner Gordon, like, does he ever wonder who that voice on the phone is? Or, hey, you sound like Bruce Wayne's butler.
Right, yeah. I know Alfred needs to disguise his voice too.
I mean, unless there's some kind of scrambler on the phone or something.
Let's just assume there is, even though there's probably not. The Gotham City Police and Batman 66 are so incompetent, it's insane.
Well, I meant in this movie, yeah.
Right, yeah. Oh, yes, yeah.
Because I think they were even playing in this movie a little with like, oh, I think Gordon knows, but he's just not going to admit it. Because when Gordon calls him and says, oh, yeah, there was a break in Tommy Elliott's old practice and stuff. And
right.
Because, when he pulled the Joker off, pulled Batman off the Joker, right? After he killed Tommy Elliott. I think there was that scene after it was done, Gordon's sitting there, standing there looking at Tommy Elliott thinking, why would that draw a reaction out of Batman?
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I think it just plays along.
Yeah.
Although I was kind of I get why they did it story wise, but I was kind of insulted when Selena says to him, "You're going to retire one day, right? Dick can take over," and he's like, "Dick's not ready." Like,
I know, but Selena was like, "You weren't ready," and you're like, "Touche." She got you.
It's like let him do it. If he needs help. Bruce can suit up at once every year or something.
But I mean, the whole point is that
yeah,
she has to say that to show so that she can start realizing, oh, Bruce isn't meeting me halfway. He has a trained successor who could do it. But
I love that. Oh, I love that in this version we didn't get in the comic book is just the conversation between Selena and Dick in the car.
Oh yeah, when they're going to the
cemetery.
cemetery. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was asking her what's it like dating Batman, and she's like, "Oh, it's so annoying. He just wants to keep talking about his feelings."
Yeah, you're like, yeah,
He's like, "Good one."
yeah, yeah. Although that did seem a little. I mean, I guess let's assume that he was taken by surprise and didn't get his nose plugs in fast enough. But it was like, wait, why is Batman's protege the one who gets hit by the fear gas and doesn't have his nose plugs in? But Catwoman's all like, I got my nose plugs in. I mean, obviously, it's what they needed for the story, but you know.
I mean, he did work with well, she worked with Poison Ivy more, so I don't know.
Right. I thought it was cute. I mean, Robin had like almost nothing, but I thought it was cute when he called Bruce and he wouldn't respond to it until he greeted the dog too.
Yeah, the dog's from the comics.
Yeah, that was cute. He's like, Damien,
That
pause, Titus. And he's like, Father.
Yeah, we didn't even really need Damien, but I love that conversation. He's like, Father, I hear you're dating a criminal. He's like, if you need to get it out of your system with this trollop.
I know, but I was a little, I mean, I guess it's like
That's Damien.
It is Damien, but come on, you should be like, hey, because Bruce was just like, your slang's outdated. It should be like, hey, dude, don't diss on women for their sexuality. Don't be a jerk, kid.
And even Damien was like, oh, I know you have bad taste in women, my mother included.
Yeah, okay, that was funny. That was kind of true.
Oh, my Lord. But Damien, he's like, oh, and remember, Father, wear protection.
Yeah, that's like the second time they've made a protection joke in this continuity because, like, Dick makes some comment about, like, oh, he's always telling me to wear protection when they get in. I feel like sometimes they just throw that stuff in to make it PG-13.
I swear that's why the reason they went to PG-13. It's just for the language, because it's just
right.
like,
Yeah, because I mean they had him cuss, say like shit a couple times or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like, you didn't really need that. I mean, whatever. I'm not quite sure. It still feels weird to me why you would make animated movies that are higher than a PG level, because it seems to me that animation is, and maybe that's just, comic books are not just for children, animation is not just for children, but at the same time, a lot of animation is for children. And if you made these, I mean, yes, you could argue that, it should be PG-13 for the violence, but
yeah, like the blood and stuff. But I'm just like, you should make it.
There's tons of violence in American movies and video games and American life, and we're just like, what is?
But it's like you should keep it PG because I mean, all these comic companies and stuff want to hook the next generation, and two, I mean, you can rate a PG movie that's compelling for adults too. I mean,
right? Yeah,
animated series.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that could have easily been PG if they just took out a couple of jokes. If they took out or changed what Damien was saying, and if they took out some of the swear words, it probably would have been PG.
It just seems like a gimmick to me. I mean, if it's intrinsic to the plot, I could see, but like all these PG-13 movies now from them, it just seems like it's, oh yeah, we can cuss and
yeah, I don't know, it's weird.
We could get violent, and it's like, well,
That's what that I thought was the biggest mistake. Well, I mean, no, there were so many mistakes with that Batman and Harley Quinn movie, but having a PG-13, and then because that movie could not decide what it wanted to be because it had PG-13 movies in, and then they had such cheesy jokes where they were like, ouch, my balls, or whatever, in that Biff. And I was like, that's not a PG-13 joke. That's like an 8-year-old boy joke.
They wanted to be, it's like a sequel to Batman the Animated Series. Yeah, but it's just like, oh, look at all these sex jokes.
Yeah, and I thought, well, if you want to be the sequel to Batman the Animated Series, why didn't you make it PG?
Yeah, exactly.
So that felt weird. Anyway, I mean, it was a pretty good. Hush was pretty good. Was pretty good.
So what would you grade at?
I don't know. What would you grade it?
I don't know. I might have to go with the B- this time.
I don't know.
some of the story choices I didn't like. I mean, I like the animation style. It looked nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said,
it was fine. I mostly had like nitpicky things with it, but
most of it,
like wasn't totally riveted.
Most of it was just small. Most of the stuff, nitpicks, I could overlook. It. My biggest problem, like I said, was the Riddler as Hush thing. It's like, Tommy Elliott was just. You could have had this, could have seen the creation of Tommy Elliott in animation, and Hush could have popped up in other stuff. Because even if the Riddler's alive, it's like, is he going to be the Riddler now? Is he going to be Hush?
Yeah.
It's I mean, I know they wanted to do twists, and they don't want it to be exactly the same, but it's
also kind of funny because one of the big things is they're like, Hush, the seminal, I mean, they're like, this is such a big Batman thing. But I'm like, isn't the reason that Hush is such a big Batman thing? Which, I mean, of course, also makes me wonder, like, how is it that you decide which is like an epic making moment in Batman? But I think, isn't the reason that Hush is such a big deal because of the introduction of Tommy Elliott?
Yeah, because, it's a childhood friend of Bruce's. It's,
he ends up becoming a villain, and then they bring him back later when Bruce dies, and he's, I mean, like, okay, I understand probably one reason people like it is it has some, Batman Catwoman in it. But I mean, really, the whole, like, what does Hush contribute to the Batman mythos is Tommy Elliott. Like, that's why it's such a thing, I thought. So that's why it did seem a little weird that you would be like, we're making Hush, and then you put Tommy Elliott in, but he's just like a random surgeon who dies.
Because when Tommy Elliott is Hush, it makes it personal. It's this guy. It's this kid he's known since before his parents died and everything. Because there was even flashbacks in the comics to, him and the parents.
And it deepens Batman as a character, and it contributes a new supporting character. I mean, because the movie, Tommy Elliott, he was like not a supporting character. I mean, he could have been anybody. He could have been like Dr. Super Surgeon, and he's like, "Hi, I'm Dr. Super Surgeon. I fixed you, and I randomly saw you at the opera."
He was a red herring in this movie. It was just a plot device.
Right. So I understand if you want to do something, keep people guessing, kind of thing. Okay, yes. But, I mean, it does kind of take away from the whole point of Hush, because if the Hush comics had just been Tommy Elliott fixes Bruce, then he dies, and it turns out Riddler was... Yeah. If Tommy Elliott had turned out to be a red herring in the comics, I don't think Hush would have been... No. Wouldn't be acclaiming Hush as like, whoa, isn't it this crazy important Batman story? It just would be like, it's a good Batman story.
Tommy Elliott gave it the personal touch. I mean, in this version, it's just, okay, one of Batman's rogues found out who he is, and he's wearing a different costume.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, if you're going to argue that, what they do argue about how Hush is this, like, seminal, vital, important, like, one of the most important Batman stories in, of the 21st century, or, whatever hoo-ha, whatever marketing hoo-ha they do, I mean, you can make that case, but you have to have Tommy Elliott as Hush to make that case. Because if he's not Hush, if he's just a random old friend of Bruce's that pops back in and dies, that's not really different from any of so many other Batman stories.
Exactly.
So,
and it was, and then like the whole thing with the Lazarus Pit. I mean, in the comics, that got us a Ra's al Ghul appearance, but like in here, Riddler was just like, "Oh yeah, enough bribes. I got a Lazarus Pit." It's like, who are you bribing? You're not bribing Ra's.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay. C+.
Okay.
C+.
Yeah, I mean, the movie, I guess, that's the thing. The movie was well done, although for me, I'm always like, oh, I hate your voice, Nightwing, which makes me sad. But yes, it was a well done movie. It was a good movie. It was fine. But in terms of, but like if Hush, the story in the comics, had been the exact story that they put in the movie, it wouldn't have been anything special.
No, people would be like, hush who?
Right, yeah, because it, like you said, it was personal. And because Bruce is, like thinking about Tommy and being personal and thinking about the nature of family, that's why he has those great things, which I do have Batman 615 on my list as one of my top 80 Nightwing issues. But like the rest of Hush, like it's good, but the rest of Hush is a Batman thing. But 615 is both a good Batman issue and a very good Nightwing issue, I think.
Well, you know what I could do to help us whittle this down? I can post on our social media and be like, send us your favorite Dick Grayson story, and see what gets the most votes.
We can read that, but I'm making you read my list.
No. I mean, we're gonna have a big list, but I'm just saying,
I'll make my list of 80 and send it to you, and then you can make your list of 80 that are in addition to mine. Because, like I said, mine are going to be, mine are not like first appearances of major villains is not something that is on my that's on my radar.
So we might have to start this before 2020 because even if we go weekly in 2020, that's only 52 weeks. That's less than 80.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, maybe if you did bi-weekly. Well, see, some of them I'm counting it as 80 issues, but like Robin Year One is on there. That's 4 issues, so you can read it together. And like Nightwing Year One is on there, but that's 6 issues, kind of thing. Like Dark Victory, I have on there, which is technically 13 issues, but then I realized Dick is only in 5 of those issues, so I was like, okay, we're gonna have to read all 15, but I'm only counting 5.
Yeah,
that way I can squeeze more onto my list. So yeah, that's kind of what I mean is around 80 issues, but yeah, if something like the Black Mirror is on there, and that's I think that's 12 or 13 issues, so it counts as 12 issues in the 80. But I mean, we would read all of them at one go. Well, that's like same thing with Prodigal. I mean, you have to read Prodigal and the Judas Contract. You'd read it in one go, but it's actually 6 issues or something.
Yeah.
So don't worry, we'll get it up.
Okay. Still, I'm just curious to see what everyone's favorite Dick Grayson stories are.
Yeah, no, that's true because we'll put them on the list because I know that my list is very. I don't want to say it's completely idiosyncratic. I mean, I'm sure you would put like Robin and Nightwing Year One on your list. And Black Mirror, but I also know that there are older ones on there, and there are like I don't know if I have really any like major villain ones on there.
You got to read some Batman and Robin with Dick Grayson.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure which one to do for Damian. Anyway, that's coming up. But yeah, we have to finalize our list before it's January 2020, so it's ready. And then when it's January 2020, boom.
Oh yeah, I'll work on this, but
okay.
But yeah, I want people to send in their favorites too. So I mean, just so we can announce them, if nothing else, because
if a lot of people have a favorite that is not on my favorites list, I want to read it so I can think about it again.
That's right. So send your thoughts at capesandlunatics@gmail.com.
In DC, publish the Volume 3 Robin Archives so I can read Crazy Quill. Jeez.
Oh, yeah, and follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Nightwing News Podcast, and at Nightwing News on Twitter. And, what is it? Is it Bloodhaven? Oh, we have a Facebook group, too. Here, let me pull it up.
Didn't you call it, like, Bloodhaven Bulletin or something, maybe?
I think so. I can't. Yes, the Bloodhaven Bulletin, the Nightwing fan group. So follow the fan group on Facebook.
Let us know.
Yes, we can talk all the old issues with you there.
Yeah, and we can look at old like animated series episodes or stuff too, depending.
Yes. And now all our shows stream right to the Capes and Lunatics Facebook and Twitter accounts, so you can watch us live, or you can jump on here, get on the Get Vocal, VOKL.com. And there's a chat room. It's open. You can always just type right to us. Favorite issues, favorite storylines.
Someone just jumped in. Oh, no, he went away. It must have been an accident.
We're kind of early. Usually there's not that many people until like later on in the evening.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Are we done?
Yep.
All right. I'd ask you for plugs, but you never want to plug anything.
No, you plug.
Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder. Go buy the book.
It's only a mere 5 years out of date now.
Hey, it's. Boy, you know what? You might see a spike in sales next year.
One can only hope.
People are looking for content. All right, so I think I did most of our plugs. Oh, and call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. All right, so what do we get? Oh, I know we're going to do an issue next time, so.
Oh, right, yes, an issue.
Should we do some anime?
We'll have the end. I think next week, the last 3 episodes of Outsiders come out.
Oh, yeah, because, by the time we come back,
the show will be, by the time we come back, Outsiders will be over and Titans will have started.
I was going to say, we can wrap up season 3 of Young Justice, and then talk about, there should be at least a couple episodes of Titans out, so yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right, everyone. So go do your homework. Watch your Young Justice and your Titans, and read the issue of Nightwing. And send us your favorite Dick Grayson stories.
Yes, Nightwing or Robin or Batman or Renegade or whoever.
Some Chuck Dixon Nightwing issues. Yeah, we gotta read some Grayson. What is it? Did you ever read? It was a weekly series, Batman and Robin, Eternal.
Oh right. Oh yeah. When he's Grayson. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. True.
I'd say Birds of Prey 8, but I don't have that. Is that on the DC universe?
Birds of Prey 8. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I have that on my list.
Well, then I'll have to find it because I don't have it. That's what.
Oh wait, no, I have Flash plus Nightwing on there. I have Birds of Prey 8 as a potential. I'll stick it on there.